So 5. I feel like we've been doing this forever.
It doesn't feel like episode 5, bro.
It
It
doesn't.
doesn't.
It really doesn't.
But I guess it don't help that we have like 3 more episodes already ready that we haven't even recorded.
Yeah, no. Which I'd like to stay that way, but that
See,
way
look,
at
I just
least we
clicked
have
on the wrong
ideas on
fucking thread.
paper.
We got 2 open, so there's that. Yeah.
This one is gonna be,
Anyway,
yeah,
what's
this
going on
one's
here?
gonna be a lot more kind of informative, more of a how-to in some sense. Definitely not the shit that we've been talking about.
I
It's
can't
probably
hear.
not gonna get as deep. You good?
Of course, I knew I should have plugged them in.
I should
So,
probably plug mine in as well.
I knew I should have plugged them in, dude. I was thinking about it. I was like, bro, the moment. Give me a sound check.
Sound check.
All right. I was like, the moment we start, bro, my headphones are just gonna go quiet, and I'm like looking at you talking, and I'm like, he's muted. I'm like, no, it's still lighting up green. I gotta love headphones, dude.
All right, so I mean, you see the title. The whole episode is gonna be around the idea of just human needs, whether it be basic human needs or all the way up to like your more advanced, more intricate personal needs. Because pretty much the higher you go up on this pyramid that I'm about to show you, the more personalized it really gets. Actually, let me just go ahead and bring it up because
Pull it up,
it's
pull
gonna
it
make
up.
the most sense. Boom. There we go. So what this is Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? And like starting at the bottom is your most like everybody needs it. Everybody has to have it. And that's your like your most basic needs, right? Like your food, water, shelter, stuff like that. Realistically, in today's society, you could either go off the grid to meet these needs or you can get a job. Like that's about it. Unfortunately, those are really your only two options to meet the majority of these needs. But like, yeah, air, food, water, shelter, housing, clothing, sleep, reproduction. Reproduction is kind of a lot of people don't want to believe it, but we do have a need to reproduce.
Oh, yeah.
We have a very deep seated need to want
I mean,
to
I
push on
mean,
our genes.
doesn't mean you have to, but yeah.
It no, it doesn't. But a lot of the times we, like, just we as humans, right? Because we got to think of ourselves as animals, because we are. At the end of the day, we're just really smart animals, and that's one of the physiological needs that we possess, which is funny because a lot of those needs that require safety come before safety.
Well, yeah, I was gonna say it's wild that food and water is in, is not in safety.
Well, it's because it's more of a not keeping your body safe, but keeping your body alive.
Yeah.
Because, like, at the end of the day, you have to be alive. In order to experience life, you gotta be alive. But, I mean, those are kind of easy. A lot of those people have already. You sort of naturally figure it out. You naturally
Yeah.
figure out how to work around it and how to obtain those on your own. There's a point as to why I wanted this to be a specific episode in itself. We'll get to that point at the end. But Um, so yeah, physiological needs, either get a job or go out and like hustle the best you can. Your body will tell you what you need. Obviously, listen to what your body tells you.
Yeah, your stomach grumbling, you better eat, big dog.
Right. You know, it's not hard. It really isn't. It's not that hard.
Yeah.
It's natural. Ooh, hold up. Okay. I don't know what happened, but OBS kind of bugged.
Mm,
Um,
mm,
Going to
mm.
the next ones, right? Safety. Safety needs. A lot of people sort of kind of struggle with, which it's ironic to me, thinking about it, because it kind of sort of kind of like what the photo says, right? Is more about personal security, no violence, crime, war. It's about health and well-being, stuff like that.
All right.
We'll go into financial security as its own thing, but
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of people who completely forgo the idea of no violence. Like they're very willing to,
Especially in our country.
yeah, they're very willing to be violent. And I don't necessarily think it's because those lower needs aren't being met. Maybe because of some of the higher needs that we'll get into. But
I mean, I will say that there's a there's a time and a place to have to do that, you know?
I think there is, but
I mean, in the sense of like, somebody else chose to be violent. As bad as it sounds, it's them or me, and I would rather it not be me, rather it not be any of us, but I'd rather it not be me, you know?
I mean, yeah, I get what you're saying.
But I guess that, I mean, I don't know. When it's like, what's the word I'm looking for here? When it's like protecting yourself, I guess it's a little different. You're gonna definitely look at it different.
Yeah. And I think we'll put a pin in that, and then we'll come back to that, because I think the further up this pyramid we get, the more we'll be able to talk about it.
Right.
But basic safety needs, right? Like personal security, health and well-being, a lot of those do stem from financial security. So it's very important to be able to be some type of financially secure. And realistically, the only way that you can do that in this society, at least in modern day America, is to get a halfway decent job, whether it be with or without schooling, and build for yourself a safety net.
Yeah.
Some type of like cushion if you happen to fall, and you have the ability to pick yourself back up without having to rely so much on everyone else.
I mean, even if the job isn't paying the greatest,
Even if the
learn
job
learn
just
to budget.
completely sucks, yeah.
Yeah, learn to budget it. Which, side note on that, if the job sucks that bad and you really don't like it, you can leave that place and
Yeah,
work
you
somewhere else.
totally have the choice to leave that place. But think about,
How it could hurt your needs.
right, well, think about whether or not you're meeting your needs or you're doing this because you want to, right? Because needs and wants are two very big different things, and we will go into that a little bit more. But if you're working at a place because it satisfies all of your needs but none of your wants, and there's another job out there that could satisfy all of the things, you probably should go for that other job.
Right. But I
But
would settle for the needs over the wants.
it I have
The
settled
wants to
for the
come.
needs over the
The wants
wants.
the wants that comes. The wants will come. Words.
So it yeah, my thing is I've settled for having jobs just to satisfy the needs.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, it's not enough because your lifestyle is not where you want it to be, obviously.
Yeah. Honestly, I would say that's a good point or a good spot to like put the quote in too, because we're talking about like basically what that quote says,
I'll let you go ahead and
and
read it.
I am absolutely going to butcher this guy's name.
Oh, me too. So that's why I let you read it, man.
But he says teach yourself to be impatient for your needs. Did he say that wrong? And teach yourself to be patient for your wants. Oh yeah, okay, no, he said it right. Teach yourself to be impatient for your needs, and teach yourself to be patient for your wants. And P.S. whatever that means. Again, gonna butcher it. Jagadish Kumar. If that is wrong, I am sorry. I
Look, look, we find these quotes through Google, and
yeah, I don't know this guy. I don't even know what he looks like. But I mean, he's right. Be impatient for your needs because like you need it regardless.
yeah,
But the bigger
because
thing is
you
like
need
being
those
patient.
now. That's the thing is
Right.
you need those now.
Yeah, and I mean the bigger thing, the end of it, being patient for your wants. You don't have to have it now. You might want it now. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm very impatient on things that I want, but I'll get it at some point, and that's fine. Even if I have to save up for it, because I would rather still have this roof over me.
Yeah, it's definitely. Actually, I really like that quote. It took me forever to try to find a decent quote.
Yeah. What happened there? Okay.
I was wondering.
I mean, dude, like,
Do you
especially with the wants, like, go ahead.
do you have stream pulled up? My stream pulled up.
Yeah, but I have to switch back and forth.
Okay, well, it was having some weird issues where it was going black, and I don't know if it was an OBS glitch or if it was like black, black.
I I don't see it. I'm in mod view. Hold on.
Let me
But
try to recreate it. Hold up.
with the wants especially,
What about now? Is it black?
yeah,
Yeah.
you are showing a full screen. I see Discord. I see the live thing, but I don't see any of it there. There it is.
Yeah, we're gonna have black spots in the video, but it's fine. We still have the audio, so it's okay.
But like with my computer, like I wanted it the way that it is now, and I want more out of it, but I'm not about to go spend $500 for a part to make my computer better than it is when I
Because
have other things I need to buy.
I was about to say because you have other needs that need to be met, like obviously basic security, basic
Right.
housing, and shit like that. Bills, right? Like the bills that we say that we need.
Yeah.
We'll go into that too a little bit because I've got
I,
a bunch of bills that I say that I need that I do not need.
I mean, a smaller need that you probably don't think is a need, but gas in your car because you need to get to work. You need to get to these places to get the things you need.
That is definitely a need to meet other needs.
Yeah. I don't want to put gas in my car because it costs money, but
Not because it costs money, but because the shit's expensive.
yeah, especially depending on where you are.
The shit's expensive as hell.
I mean, you know how it is in my state. I mean, you're from here, so you know how it
Yeah,
is.
the shit's not
You,
cheap.
like where I'm at, it's pretty expensive depending on where you go. You hit the richer neighborhoods, it's even more expensive. You start going
Yeah.
down south, it gets cheaper.
So I mean, yeah, it's definitely a hard sometimes to navigate um, that financial balance to the things that you need, like as a person. Because
Right.
realistically, right, and like people don't want to think about this, we can we can take the comfort out of our lives and do the more hard thing, right? Like for us, there was always the ability to take public transit, even though it was
Yeah.
even though it was very annoying and you had to deal with people.
Yeah.
But
And
like,
it wasn't very good.
yeah, it was horrible. But it was $1.25, at least for us, like when we were growing up. It was
Yeah, it's not
$1.25 to hop on the
anymore.
bus.
But
And then where we were at, we could get bus tickets and fucking, ride the bus back for free.
hmm
We used to
as long as it was
stack
within
them
4
bitches.
hours.
Yeah. Oh no, I was referring to the little, I think they were blue.
Yeah, the little tickets that you could get from school and stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the little
well, you
blue
could
ones.
buy those. You could buy those from like Kroger and stuff too. But yeah,
Yeah. So I
but
mean,
the
there.
ones that the bus gives you, the transfer, those last 4 hours.
Yeah, those were nice because I would fucking go on lunch and I'd be like, all right, I'm gone. I'm done.
Right.
But anyway, right? Like the point being is, there's always like other methods that you don't want to think about because they're less comfortable,
Yeah.
especially for like certain things. And safety is where you start to really get into, because of that financial aspect. That's really like where you start to get into the more having to deal with people, getting a job,
Right.
commuting, those kind of problems that you get in your life. So I
But also,
mean,
not a lot of your needs also come from having, money. You know.
it's come from trying to find it.
Right.
Like that's usually the big thing right there, is trying to find it.
Like I would definitely say you need to have a good head on your shoulders, and money can't necessarily buy that. It can with like therapy and stuff, but you know, and I'm not talking about just like mental health in that sense. I'm talking more like what you need to do, what I'm saying? Like you get up, you go to your job, you do whatever, you take care of yourself, whatever. Like you don't need to necessarily pay a therapist to tell you that you need to wake up every morning and go to work.
Yeah.
And
It's
that's
getting
something that
into
money can't buy you.
the mindset that you know what you need to do, when you need
hmm
to do it, kind of thing.
And how you need to do it, if it is a how.
Right. A little thing kind of, I might, it's not necessarily a quote, but kind of sort of like going on that financial part, because that is a very big important part. Like I feel like a lot of people can't get past that, especially in today's society. Um, I read a book, and it's called The Psychology of Money. Or I'm reading a book, and almost immediately into the book, you start to learn that it's not the it's not that people are just lazy and bullshit their money. Sometimes it's the circumstances in which they obtain the money. Because
Yeah.
someone when the stock market was like really good and makes investments and ends up getting a lot of return out of it, is not going to act the same around money as someone who went through like the depression,
Oh
and
yeah.
they now have to conserve every little bit of it. So they're going to have different mindsets. And so
Uh,
ultimately it's your behavior around currency.
how you achieve that currency.
Well, it's just your behavior when you have it
Yeah.
that affects your life.
Yeah.
Because, obviously some people will just burn a hole in their pocket and they'll just fucking blow it.
I can do that.
I can do that too. I have
I
no
just
problem doing that. I've had
I
to
just
fight
can't,
myself so much.
Yeah.
And I think what it was is because, we're generally the same age. We kind of sort of grew up in the same time of like, money wasn't tight, but it wasn't great either.
Yeah. We weren't well off.
In the world as a whole, like not necessarily our families, but in the
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
And so growing up, being able to make our own money, obviously, not having any like really in-depth sort of counseling about how to manage money, you kind of
Right.
run wild a little bit.
Oh yeah.
It's
I think
it's easy
everybody's
to
done
do that.
that.
Yeah, it's easy to do that.
I mean, I still do it, but like I take care of my needs first.
Hmm.
Like what I said before we started, me getting paid $200 for fixing stuff that is supposed to come at the best quality that they can send it. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got my paycheck. I'm gonna pay everything I need to pay, and then when I get that $200, I'm gonna go buy something that I do actually need, but I can live without because it's not that bad. But my shoes are kind of fucked up, and I need it. And now I'm gonna use that to go get them.
Yeah, I was about to say
And then
you probably should go get some new shoes. You know.
and whatever else I want, it's basically a free $200, even though I worked for it.
Yeah.
It's just 200 that isn't on my hourly paycheck.
Right.
But yeah, I'm not gonna spend $200 on shoes. So I mean, there's gonna be some wants in there, buddy.
Truth be told, I could probably use a whole episode to go into finances.
Yeah.
Mainly because mine aren't the greatest, so talking about it would help. And I
Yeah,
know a lot
mine
of other
aren't.
people could probably benefit from whatever I've learned about finances. I'm not going to do that because that's not the point of this. We're not going to have a
Yeah.
6-part episode.
Yeah, I don't want to do another two-parter
The
again.
2 parts are hard, man, and they're hard. They're hard to
Just
do.
drop the 3 hours as one, bro.
3-hour episode is a lot for people to sit through, though.
Nah, bro. How many hours do you work a day?
I'm not going to answer that.
The majority of people work at least 8. There's half your shift right there. By the time you hit lunch, you've done start at the next episode. Anyway,
If you can listen to podcasts during work,
I do sometimes.
well, you have a job that allows for that, you know.
Well, that's true. I can kind of do whatever I want. Nobody's gonna say nothing as long as my job's getting done.
Yeah.
They don't care.
All right, we move on to the next one, right? Love and belonging is the next step, right? And to be clear, you kind of sort of have to build these from the bottom up, otherwise they start to collapse. And I'm sure people have seen it, right? Like if you can't provide shelter or like financial security, then having a relationship is probably going to fall through,
Yeah,
you know. Which
especially because you're gonna want to take care of that person. You're gonna want to buy them things.
exactly. Or another example, you're going to want to be a part of a group and contribute to the group and not
Right.
be able to.
And if you can't even fulfill your own needs, then you know,
How are you going to do that? Yeah.
right.
But yeah, love and belonging, right? That's like your friendship, your family, community, romantic relationships, things like that. The best way that I could advise people to like begin to meet these is to first of all meet the other needs that you have, and second of all, don't lose yourself when you're trying to do this, right? Because you spend those first two building blocks, you use those to find yourself in a sense. You find how you're going to interact with adversity.
Right.
And then the moment that you get into a relationship and you start to lose yourself to match the other person, to be what the other person wants to be because you now have like an infatuation with them or whatever. The moment you start to lose yourself is the moment that those building blocks are now gone, because now you don't know how to manage adversity anymore, or you don't know how you're going to react. Is it going to do that again? Oh my god.
Yes. Every time you click off of it.
It does, yeah. Okay, how can we figure this out?
Just show the entire screen.
I only have one screen.
So then why is it doing that? What's your display method?
It's just anything full screen. think.
See, I use display capture, so it just captures the entire monitor, so whatever's showing on that monitor.
I'm not trying to capture everything that's on the monitor.
Right.
It's fine.
Well.
It's fine.
That's all right.
We'll work with it.
It's fine. It's not even that big a deal. You need 7 more monitors.
Actually,
Why not just pull your laptop up and...
there we go. That was the easiest fucking fix I've ever seen. I just display it as full screen. And then tab out of it.
There you go.
Alright, so where are we at? Oh yeah, losing yourself, right? Like the moment you get into this relationship, and I think we covered this a little bit, not too much.
Yeah, I don't remember which one, but we definitely talked about it.
Probably in relationships. Or
Probably in all of them.
probably, honestly. I have
Communication.
I have a list
mean,
of things that we've gone through so far.
5 feels like 10, so don't ask me specifics.
And then 10 is gonna feel like 100.
Ah.
But yeah, the moment you get into that sort of relationship, if it's not healthy and those person or persons have not met their their own needs, then you're gonna start to, well, first of all, you're gonna have to do double the work, because now you have to meet their needs and yours,
Right.
both like physiological, feeding, sheltering, stuff like that, and safety. And then bring the love and belonging to them as well. Like now it's a fucking, it's all on you. And I've seen
But
that
sometimes
happen.
sometimes you have to, like, sometimes you got to pick up the slack. But when it's just all the time, you are
Yeah, picking up the
all
slack
of
is
it.
different.
Right.
What I'm
But when it's
referring
when
to
it's
is
just
like
you,
if that person has not done any of the work,
exactly. Exactly. At
like
all from the beginning, then yeah,
like they don't have a job, they haven't moved, or they moved in with you. They've always
Yeah.
had like a shit relationship with their family, so they don't know how to love. I'm describing myself, by the way.
I felt that one.
Um,
But yeah, it's
yeah,
more so it's
it's
just like
gonna be hard on the other person,
the
or
other party can't provide, doesn't know how to provide whatever it is they need to provide.
yeah, yeah, that shit just made me think differently right there.
It should.
I didn't think I was gonna. I thought this was just gonna be an informative episode, but it was like,
It's never just an informative episode. It's way more than what we always think it is. Holy flashbang.
oh yeah, my face. I'm just trying to read the fucking the next one. Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, like you said, it's not necessarily. I mean, I guess it still could, especially if you're trying, but it's probably not working out if any of the needs aren't really being met on your end, and you're trying to go after a want.
Yeah, I think for me personally, that was a big problem.
Yeah, wanting something
I
instead of
was looking at
focusing
all
on the
these
need.
wants and not really understanding the needs that needed to be met.
Yeah. Or maybe you understood them, you just didn't care.
At the time, I think I was just really young.
Yeah. Well, when you're young.
You don't pay attention to shit like this. This was long before I knew about Maslow and
Yeah.
psychology and shit like that.
Yeah, but also when you're young, even at our age, being close to 30 even, like that's
Yeah.
where you make your mistakes, you know?
Fucking remind me. Close to
I
30.
mean, not that it's a good thing to make those mistakes sometimes, but you know, that's
Mistakes,
where you
no.
tend to do them.
Mistakes are definitely good.
That's I mean, it's just that's where you tend to do your wants more, you know? Because like we mentioned earlier with the financial thing, you know, when you grow up and let's say you did live in that household where it was, you know, we got everything we needed, but you can't really get what you want. Not this week, maybe next week, but then you get older, you get a job, and then you're like, oh, I have adult money, I can go buy my wants. You're not thinking about needs anymore, you know?
How many times have people heard um, Santa might bring it to you for Christmas?
Mm,
You
I
know?
never did. I didn't believe in him after I don't even know when.
Well, I mean, it was a while before I stopped believing in him, but
But yeah, definitely everybody's heard that. Even if they don't remember it,
at
it's been
least
said to
once,
you.
you know, their parents have
Yeah,
said that.
right,
If they lived in a middle to lower middle class
right.
home.
Dude, you know it was I don't want to say it was like bad, but like you know it was kind of wild when you lost a tooth and you're like, "Oh yeah, I'm about to get some money,
I'm about to get
boy."
some money, yeah.
You know it was kind of bad, dude. But I mean when you're young, that's how you're thinking, you know. $20 is a lot of money to you when you're 7, you know.
You got $20 for a tooth?
I mean, I might have before, but
I've never, dude. I maybe got like $1.
actually, fun fact, because my mom didn't always do it because we didn't have a lot of money growing up. She would
Yeah.
give me like a couple bucks or whatever, which would result in me buying candy or giving her the $2 back so I can get the toy that I wanted from the store. So basically, I got robbed. Anyway,
They robbed me for
anyway,
my tooth.
my mom was dating this guy that was like one of the few that actually were pretty good to her. He did some bad things, got caught up in some bad stuff, ended up in jail for the rest of his life. But actually took care of her, cared about us too, you know. But I lost a tooth and he put like $40 under my pillow. And when I woke up, the tooth was gone. There was $40 under my pillow.
What the fuck?
And I like a couple hours later, I heard my mom say, "You gave that boy $40 for losing a tooth." Well, I was rich.
I was rich.
You couldn't tell me nothing, dude. I
Couldn't
was
tell
rich.
me
I
nothing.
had everything I wanted when I had that $40. Don't know what I spent on it, like what I spent it on, but
I find it funny that
I just unlocked a memory. Holy crap,
you just went through the filing cabinet, man.
bro! That's an old save file.
I think it's funny that us as kids, we we get money from the tooth fairy for losing a tooth, and then we go buy sugary candy
To give them more teeth, bro.
to give them more teeth.
Capitalism, baby.
It is capitalism at its finest, man. It's
Dude, you were being taught capitalism at the age of 5. Like, oh wow, honey, you lost a tooth. Let's put it under your pillow tonight. Wow, they give you $10. Let's go to the store and get you some chocolate.
Oh, what happened? There we go. I don't know what
When you're
happened.
that young, dude, like when you're that young, it's up to your parents or a guardian to literally be that person to provide the needs for you. You should only have to worry about the wants at an age like that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
And I'm glad you brought that up because it is necessary for people to understand. Like when you're honestly when you're below under 18, you should not have to be worried about any of the actual needs.
Yeah. Right.
You should be worried about like establishing your place in society, making friends,
Right.
shit like that. And then like as you get older, that's when you should be starting to worry about getting a job, being able to
Right.
provide for yourself, for your loved ones.
I mean, in your teens, you should at least understand the needs, you know? Because I mean, I myself, when I was like 16, was like, okay, well, we gotta pay rent. Like we gotta pay LG&E. We gotta do this. So like, I had a job, but my mom never took the money from me, even though I tried to give it to her all the time. You know.
Yeah.
Still to this day, she hates asking me for money.
Well, that's just parents, man.
Yeah,
It's just how good parents are. They give and give and give, and
right.
they
Well,
don't expect anything in return.
I had a conversation with her, I mean, I say this definitely revolves around needs for sure, because like she needs to pay her bills too, and she's just not financially stable for that. So sometimes it's like some stuff's getting paid a month late, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I do have it a little easier, given the fact that I live in my father-in-law's house. You know, he's not here, but like, he lives in his own house. But yeah, given that, I'd have it a little easier. So we were talking about it, and I was like, well, not this Friday, but next Friday. Let me see what I have, and I can at least give you something so you can take care of what you need. You know, whether you figure out the bills and then you just don't have no money, and I basically buy you groceries. Like, she was like, but you don't have to do that. And I'm like, you took care of me for 21 years of my life. It is only right that I take care of you now.
I can buy you groceries for like a couple weeks, a month, whatever, like, and it not be
Right.
fucking
And it not hurt me.
yeah.
I told her straight up, I said, I don't need the money back. Do not send it to me back. If you send me money, I will send it right back to you. Do not pay me back. And I mean, that's I want to do that, but like, I feel like I also need to do that. Like I said, she took care of me 21 years, dude.
Yeah, but
And
and
then,
to kind of speak for you, it is a parent's job. It's their duty to do that,
right.
right? But like
Yeah.
as kids, you see this person that like has spent their like what we know as their entire life because we're only a
Right.
certain age, even though they probably well
Yeah.
over
Well,
double our age,
well, I mean, a good portion of my mom's life, she was 22 when she had me.
and she was taking care of you,
Right.
and you see that and you're like, well, fuck, now that I can, I got to give something back, which you
Oh,
should.
dude.
I believe you should. If you
Oh,
don't,
yeah.
then it's not. I'm not gonna sit here and judge you, but
Yeah.
some people do, some people don't. Families
But
should stick together at the end of
at the
the day.
same time, like I told her, like with my brother being 6 years older than me, his father died when he was really young, so she was raising him by herself. My dad walks out when I'm 3. She raised me by myself. So I was like, really, if you think about it, not only did you do 21 years with me, you did like another 20 something with my brother. You put in like 40 years of life for 2 kids, you know?
I mean, that's kind of not how that math works, but no, I get
No,
what you're
but you see
saying.
what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Like you
yeah,
bet like you you put 40 years in on between 2 different kids because we're both over 20 now. My brother's again 6 years older than me. He's 30 something.
yeah.
You know,
And kids take a lot out of you.
especially as a single parent. I mean, I can't speak from experience, but like looking back now, I see how it was with my mom. That was not easy, and 2 boys at that, bro. Not easy. So yeah, it's only right that you take care of your parent when it's your turn to take care of them. You know.
Yeah,
But I mean, I've also been, you know, kind of telling her about some things that her and her husband need to do because they haven't been. I mean, they're not like splitting up or anything, but they got things they need to work on. You know, I had like a 2 hour phone call with her, and I was like, "Y'all need to start doing this. Y'all need to start doing this. Maybe you should try doing this."
starting to talk like I am.
Yeah, well, where do I get it from?
Maybe because you be out there reading books.
I don't know how to read. Well, we can move on to the next one. Or did we? Yeah, I think we've touched everything on like love and young on belongings.
Yeah.
Can we really actually put belonging as a need? Like, what do they mean by belonging, especially
So
like
feeling
more
apart,
specifically?
feeling belonging as in
Okay.
like
Yeah, yeah,
feeling
yeah.
wanted by your community, right? Like because obviously, for example, people in their teens, they feel complete
The need
the
for
complete
yeah,
opposite, right? But that's what they
yeah.
need.
That need for affection.
And then but they dress in such a like a way or act in a certain way, and it shows society like, oh, you're an outcast, you're a this, you're a that, whatever, we don't want you. And so
Right.
it's sort of a self-fulfilling prophecy of like, I don't like myself, so I'm going to show the world that I don't like myself, and they're not going to like me either.
Right.
And it kind of goes in a bad circle. That the love and belonging part is kind of where, bing, is kind of where it gets hard for your teenagers, your people that are trying to be more socially accepted.
Right.
Um, Specifically for that reason, growing up, you have a lot of emotions. Like obviously, your physiological and your safety needs have already been met, and
Hopefully.
so these next two are really where you grow up, and that's going to determine how you look at yourself. That's going to determine how you react to the rest of society, because like you're gonna start to build your 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 group, your friend group. You're gonna like whether or not you're part of any clubs in school and stuff like that. Um, Obviously, esteem is gonna be on top because that's based on how you like the reactions you get out of these groups, this community that you build. Your self esteem is gonna build. Even if you fail, the group that's behind you is always going to be there to be like, you know what, it's fine because we still got you. And then like your self-esteem obviously is a big thing, and I feel like the majority of the viewers that we have, I read the analytics, don't fucking try to lie to me. I know the ages and the fucking the genders that you at least put on Spotify and YouTube. um that I get I get where you guys are at. And so esteem, right? Like that's a big, it's a big part, like one of the biggest parts of being happy in your life. And
No, for sure.
you got to remember when to not let other people's opinions affect you, and when to do so. For that, right? Like when I grew up, I'll give a little bit of a personal experience just to kind of. So growing up, I had horrible self esteem. I even still don't have the best, but when I grew up, I always thought I was fat. Like I thought weight was a horrible problem for me. Come to find out, 180 pounds for like a 17 or 18-year-old kid is like not bad at all.
Yeah, it's like average.
Um, so I would always wear a hoodie. It didn't matter what temperature it was outside. I would always wear a hoodie. That's how people see me. A hoodie, sweatpants. Or a hoodie and
Hood,
jeans. Black
hoodlum.
jeans. That was it. I wasn't your typical goth, but I was your I don't want to be here kind of person.
Yeah.
And I showed it very, very, very clearly.
You
Some
definitely
people took it
presented
as
it.
like this person is mysterious. I was not trying to be mysterious. I was trying to cover up my flaws. And if any of those people see these recordings, they'll be like, "Damn, he's right." I was
Yeah, don't
literally
think
just
about it.
yeah, I was just trying to cover up the flaws that I knew that I had with myself. I guess you can consider it a little bit of like sort of body dysmorphia or
Oh no, I mean definitely.
stuff like that. Like I was never comfortable in my own skin until I mean right now in my life is the most comfortable I've been. And it's not because of me.
Right.
But
Well, now you big and muscular.
even still that's not because of me.
Yeah.
I don't see that. I don't see that because I see everyone else. I see
Yeah.
how they're doing. I see their progress. And
Yeah.
another quote, don't let perfect be the enemy of good. I mean,
But see, that's also a problem too. Is looking at how everybody else is doing. You know.
comparison is
Yeah.
the enemy of progress, right? Like,
Right. I mean, especially when it's like your main focus. You know. When you're like, oh, that guy's got a way better car than me. Like, what am I doing wrong? But you do it every time you see a nice car.
mm-hmm.
Not just like, oh, that's a really nice car. That guy must have worked harder. You know.
But you don't sit here and look at your car and be like, damn, that's a nice car for what I've done.
Right.
Let me see if I can
You know
do
what?
more and do better and get a
That
better
guy in
car.
the Lambo could be sitting next to your car at the red light and be like, dude, I should have just bought that. I wouldn't be broke right now. It could be. You never know. You never know.
Actually, that's a good way to put it. Yeah. Me
I
driving
mean,
around in my little Kia and and they're looking at me
or-
like damn, I bet that guy's got a
dude,
bunch of extra money and I ain't got
yeah,
shit because this car payment's expensive.
yeah. He's looking over like, dude, his gas tank's full right now.
And mine is like I'm going to the gas station now and it's like, oh
Yeah,
man.
like
That's it.
he just puts his credit card in the gas pump and just lets it run.
Just lets it go and you know what? I
Like,
do. I do. I
yeah, you
do.
do.
I do
I
that.
I don't like that you do that. Not because it's like, I mean, it's a good way to just let the tank just fill all the way up. I just don't like it because of how often it is that they put skimmers on those.
Oh no, I checked every time. I check
Yeah,
every time.
yeah. Not everybody knows what to check for though.
Yeah, I make sure to check because fuck that. Fuck
Yeah,
that. But yeah, no, that's a good way to put it actually because you never know what someone else is thinking.
right. But you also don't want the comparisons to be your main focus. That is gonna affect your self-esteem.
Right. Right.
You know. And even then, that stems to you don't necessarily need that Lamborghini, bro. You just
No,
want
you
it.
don't.
Let's
That
be
is
honest.
definitely not a need. That
You
is
just
it
want
is
it,
most
bro.
certainly a want.
There's, I mean, again, you are from where I'm from. There is rich people out here that I've gone to their house on like certain jobs that I work to work on their garage door when I worked on garage doors, and they still drive a 2001 Honda Accord, but they have way more money than I do.
Yeah. And that
So,
they probably had that car for like the past like 7, 8, 10 years.
oh yeah, that I've actually talked to one of them that did have like an older car. It was like a 2010 Accord or something, and they were like, "Yeah, things like got like 230,000 miles on it. It's still a great car." He's like, "Yeah, I got my nice car in the garage, but I drive the Honda every day." Bro's got his needs in check.
And there is
Like, yeah, I
nothing.
wanted my car, I went and got my car, but I drive the one that I need to drive every day. I don't need to be driving an Audi everywhere I go.
Yeah, the thing's expensive to fill up.
Exactly. Yeah, he was also talking about the insurance on it, and I was like, yeah, I think I would drive the one with, full coverage paid off. Don't have to worry about it.
Yeah.
230K miles on it. Yeah, I'm driving that every day too, buddy. Rich or not.
Yeah, it makes sense. But, getting back to the point, right? Um, you have to. Honestly, we probably could have done a quote for each of these sections.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that would have been a lot of searching.
It would have been a lot But I think I got the one for esteem already.
Yeah,
Don't let
basically done
don't
one
let
for
perfect
everyone.
be the enemy of good.
Yeah,
Because that's kind of where your self-esteem is what's going to show to the world. I mean, everything that you do is going to show to the world. They're going to see if you're eating good. They're going to see if you have a decent safety net. They're going to see if you have nice friends. But your self-esteem and the way you carry yourself is the thing that's going to affect people the most.
yeah. I'd say it's also one of the hardest things to, you know, to battle with on this list,
Yeah, it is.
especially at a young age,
When you know nothing else except that. Yeah.
Right. Especially, like I said, especially at a young age, like being in high school, trying to make friends and stuff.
Some of the I mean, if I could give you any advice to help to improve your self-esteem is to be honest with yourself, right? Look at yourself and be honest with yourself and find out where
Hmm.
you need to work. Find out the things that you don't like and work on those things.
Work on changing those.
But don't sit here and let somebody else say you need to fix that. That's not their decision to make. That's
Yeah.
your decision to make.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't need to fix anything you think I need to fix.
Yeah. It's up to me at the end of the day. It's up to me to figure out what I
Right.
need to fix.
Exactly. Now,
So
unless, of course, it is your therapist telling you you need to work on these things,
even
but
even
sometimes
therapists
it's.
sometimes fucking get it wrong.
Yeah. Oh,
We're
yeah.
all humans, right? But if you think you need to fix something, go fix
You
it.
probably, yeah.
If you think it's gonna help build your self-esteem, go fix it.
Try
Don't
it.
go out into society and be a douchebag though. I'll say that. Don't be a
Yeah,
dick
that
just because you
ain't,
can
that's
lift
not
300
helping you.
pounds.
Yeah, that's not helping you. Especially if you are, battling the self esteem, because then every time you go to the gym, you go to the hangout spot, and you know a couple people, they're gonna start to not like you.
Yep.
I'm like, dude, every time this guy shows up every Sunday for this car meet, he's a dickhead. Like, I'm tired of it. I don't care about his car anymore.
Mm-hmm. That's literally what it's gonna be. Is they're gonna get tired
Yeah.
of you.
Yep. And then you're just hurting your self esteem again because now you're like, why don't they like me?
We're telling you. Listen to Whispered Reflections, and we can tell you. Or
Yeah.
you can hop in the stream and you can engage, and we can give you more direct answers.
Right.
Boom. Just some shameless self promotion right there on the podcast.
Yeah, we needed to do that.
Um, moving on swiftly and gracefully. Self actualization. Most people don't experience this in their lives, and it's sad to think about. Um, we probably haven't because it entitles to become like like to achieve your full self potential. And when you have any of these other issues, like any of them, you will not be able to like realize your full potential. You can get close, and I feel like I personally have gotten close at a very like brief moment in my life, but it did not last long and it was not as close as I thought. But it's very difficult. But this is like the area in which you start to kind of do those hobbies that make you feel like this is your purpose.
Right.
You know, and I guess even sometimes it may not feel like it, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're not. I didn't really think about that. Self-actualization, I can't.
Well, I mean, sometimes the hobby that you feel like is your purpose, just because it's doing well, still might not be it,
Yeah, it might
And
not be
that's why
it.
it's definitely one of the hardest things to like experience.
I think for us, we've kind of sort of met at least the top four ish needs, right? Ish. I say ish because esteem is still kind of iffy.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean, again,
everybody's got things they want to fix about themselves. That's fine.
that's a hard thing to battle. That's I don't want to say it's never ending, but
It it's it's very hard coming from someone who only has seen those problems in their life.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's also hard when you want to do better and have better things, and you just see everybody else with those. You see all these other people all the time, so of course you're gonna, you know.
Yeah.
And even when you have everything, bro, somebody has more. So,
The biggest thing for that is like remember positive self-talk, right? Like because ultimately what you're doing is you're looking at the other people and you're saying they have a better life, they have a better this, they have that,
yeah,
whatever. But you're not saying to yourself like, but I have this
right.
and this is just as good, you know.
I have more than I had yesterday.
Right. You're not giving yourself that positive kind of mindset that you need to keep.
Right. But I mean, yeah, the self accusation. Yeah, I can't even say it. Dude. Big words. I
Self
slept 4 hours.
actualization.
Yeah. I mean, definitely a hard thing to experience. I mean, you can definitely experience some of those subtopics in there. But
I think
when you're trying to find the purpose.
I think purpose is always going to be an issue with this.
Right. Yeah, but when
Cause
it comes to like moral development, I mean, that's something that you should be able to experience.
well, I guess that's a little different too, right? Because like
That's what I'm saying. You can touch some of those subtopics.
yeah, I mean you could probably start knocking out a handful of them, and
Right.
you could definitely feel them in life.
I
But
mean, the thing is do you need to really experience all of them?
I'm gonna be quite honest. I can't talk to you about self actualization because I have never felt it. I've never.
Yeah.
I can't personally look at the word or the idea in my life right now and say I have felt this and I can teach people how to get there. I'm not going to sit here and say that I have done that. I'm not going to sit
Yeah,
here
you can.
and
Because we're
I
doing it right now.
no, I'm not.
Yeah, we are kind of doing that right now.
No, I haven't necessarily. I've met a lot of those. I've met a lot of those subcategories, but I don't. I truly do not feel like I have realized my full potential yet.
Yeah, I mean, but you definitely touch in some of them.
I would say a lot of them. I could agree with that.
Yeah.
A lot of them. I've had peak experiences. I've experienced joy, and I have a very strong moral compass. I've
I
had
mean,
immense personal growth. Yeah,
the big thing is, do you really like? Do you necessarily need to see your full potential on like certain situations? You know what I mean? Because like you should definitely recognize like your full potential of like taking care of your basic needs, and sometimes getting your wants, but when you're like talking about full potential as in everything, like
yeah. That's kind of where I'm
you
thinking
know,
about.
like you don't necessarily. I just think you don't necessarily need 100%, 1,000% full potential or whatever.
So I think it's possible to find that in your life eventually,
Oh yeah,
but I also think that you have to keep that in mind.
yeah. Well, I mean, I'd say a big part of it too would be like you find your like let's just say you find your hobby or something that you really love doing and it turns into a career, and then you're helping other people, or like certain artists are getting like fan mail or comments in on their YouTube videos and songs and stuff of like, you saved my life and stuff. Like people definitely are gonna start saying like, oh, that was my purpose the whole time, I guess, you know. Like I kind of am at my full potential when I'm putting this music out there, and people are literally like, dude, I feel every word you say. I'm glad I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm.
Like, your music helped me. Like, so yeah, I mean, there's definitely people out there, you know.
Yeah, I've seen other people reach it, I think, or at least the
I perceive
perception
it
of it.
as,
Yeah,
yeah.
the perception as. But I just, those are the people that I follow. Like, those are the people that I look at and be like, what did they do that I need to do to get me there? You know?
Right.
And a lot of the times it gives me helpful sort of advice that's not really direct advice, it's very indirect.
But I
But
mean, do that like that falls into some other stuff we've talked about of like your comfort zones, and we've talked about that already, haven't we?
yeah.
Yeah, that falls into that because sometimes you are gonna have to step out of that for, you know, reaching that full potential.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's kind of an, I mean, you don't necessarily need to always step out of it, but you should want to achieve your needs.
I mean, I personally think that you need to always step out of it because
Well, I would say in certain situations,
let me
it's okay to have that
let me
comfort
actually
zone.
rephrase. You need to step out of it when there needs to be a change that has to be made.
There we go. Yeah.
Because if you and your the people in your life are content with what is going on, they are happy with it, it is making them better people. I mean,
Right.
it is morally right. Of course, there's
That's
no
a
reason beyond that to fucking step out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, and that's a big thing for me too. Is like being content. Like enough is never enough. You know, and you're always gonna need more. You're always gonna want more. I mean, I'm content with what I have. Don't get me wrong. Like it's fine the way it is, but it could be better. You know, it could also be worse. But the point is you're trying to make it better because you want it to be better or you need it to be better.
Mm-hmm. You know, someone the other day, they asked me this question twice. It was like, well, when you settle down, the reason why they asked me twice is because the first time I gave them the answer, they would not accept it. But they said, when you settle down, where do you see yourself at? Like, what state or what part of the world?
Right.
I was like, I don't care. I do not give a fuck where I'm at. It was like, let it be. Or I told him the only three things that I give a fuck about is that one, my family like cares about where we're at. I can build, and I got semi privacy.
Right.
Those are the only three. The only three things. Then I would feel like I've achieved like my full purpose.
Right. Then I mean, but even then, bro, you're gonna hit that and be like, well, you know, there's more.
Nah, I would die happy with that.
I mean, yeah, of course you would, but you know, there's always more to life.
Yeah, there's always like that. We can go do this. We can do that. Whatever. But
Right, but those are wants, you know. Some of those are wants.
yeah,
You don't have to have those.
I'm kind of referring to like what I need in my life to be happy.
Right.
Because what I want doesn't is not gonna make me happy. Ultimately, it's gonna intensify the happiness.
It's gonna fill that void for a while.
But it's not gonna be like at the end of the day, this is what makes me happy kind of thing.
Right.
don't know. This episode actually ended up being harder. Thinking
I
about it.
mean, yeah, because like talking about needs and wants, like especially with going into how going into real deep about it, it's like we can explain needs and wants, but when it gets deeper, like with this chart,
When you start to think
it's
about it,
it's a lot more than what you think it is on the outside.
yeah, it's a lot. It's because it's personal experience, you know. Like, and what I mean by that is like you can't quantify someone's life.
Yeah,
Like, you can't make their life a number or a checklist.
exactly.
And I think that's what kind of makes it hard. It's like when you start to check off boxes. You're like, well, I've done this and this and this, but I haven't done this and that. But this person has done
Right.
this and that and whatever. I don't know. It's weird. It's a weird kind of thing.
I mean, I guess it's also hard because like your needs and wants could be different from my needs and wants. Like, yeah, everybody's gonna have the same basic needs, but
Well, we haven't really talked about wants a whole lot.
right.
Needs
I mean,
are a different
the
thing.
needs is the important thing, though. 'Cause you can want whatever you want as long as you're taking care of your needs. You can have whatever you want as long as your needs are met. You know.
I can agree with that.
I mean, I personally feel like we don't need to dive deep into wants, especially with this one being a needs episode. I mean, we can do a wants episode. I'm not opposed. I'm just, you know,
We could see. We could see. Maybe have the audience determine that.
yeah,
Because wants can only go so far. I mean,
exactly.
needs can also only go so far too. But I think we've done a
But
decent job in an
needs,
hour.
yeah, I would say needs definitely go deeper and further than a want.
Yeah. Um. With that being said, I do think we should wrap it up
Yeah.
here. Um. Like I said, this was gonna be a more informative sort of episode anyway, not necessarily like the deep.
Yeah.
I intentionally tried to do it because
The next one's gonna be kind of deep.
yeah, that's why I'm like not as focused. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. Well,
I've been sort of thinking about it, but kind of keeping on track as best I can.
like I said, I mean, it's kind of hard to dive, like, to explain the needs the way we want to anyway.
Needs are
So.
very set out for you in society already.
Right.
It's just now, you just have to navigate them. That's the best way, or navigate them the best way that you can. There's sometimes like you do have classes or you have people that are willing to help you out there, but um, the majority of the needs are pretty either laid out for you or you can figure them out yourselves.
Right. I'd say I say when we post this, we can drop the link to the Maslow's that you have here.
Yeah, because
So
I have a short article too that I wasn't reading off of, but I was kind of
yeah,
referencing. I've
off
read
of
it a couple
right.
times. Yeah.
So yeah, we can drop that down, description, comment wherever it ends up getting put, and y'all can go through it whenever you want. It's really not long at all. It is, like you said, a very short article. It is 3 pages.
Yeah.
You know,
And
and
it just describes exactly pretty much what we've
yeah,
done, maybe in a better way.
right. So yeah, if you want to take a gander at that, we'll put it out there for you. But with that being said, we're gonna wrap up this episode. I appreciate you guys listening, hanging out with us. I know it wasn't as deep as some of the others have been, but they'll get there. There's a deep one coming next, like I said.
There's
I love each
peaks
and every one of you.
valleys.
Oh, yeah. Again, I love each and every one of you. You guys have the greatest day you've ever had in your life. If not today, then tomorrow.
Yep. But make it today first. Love you. Bye.
All right. I'll let you end it because Skinner's not quite ready for it.